going on, everyone? Tommy's Fishing here. In today's video, it's going to be all about bait fishing. And in this video, I'll show you everything I use, from baits to rigs, where to fish, where to cast, and everything you need to know to catch your first fish off the beach. First things first, you need to know what rig you're going to be using for the day. I have already pre-made rigs, and it's simply just a swivel with 15-pound trace all the way to a mustard long chain hook about size 2 or 3. We'll be using a 6-ball running sinker. This leader is about maybe 50 centimeters long, something about that. And the gear I'm using here is, I've got a Penn 650 spin fisher, fairly cheap because I don't like to use expensive stuff off the beach because of the sand and the salt water, everything like that. And I have a 10-6 rod, so that's 10'6" beach rod, line weight 3 to 6 kilo, and it is a short butt. I like the short butts because I like putting them into my hip while I'm fishing, and it's just a lot more comfortable. I also use braid. This is about, I think it's 20-pound braid to about 17-pound braid to mono, and that's about just over 1 meter long. And all we're going to do is feed our 6-ball sinker in, pull it through, and then put our trace on. And that's it. Running 6-ball sinker just to a standard swivel trace long chain. And for the baits, I've already got myself some beach worms, just in here. I caught them over probably 2 weeks ago and kept them in the freezer, and they're still perfect bait. How I use these is get the head of the worm, feed it through, just keep feeding it through. And the key factor here is pulling it on top of your line above your hook and running it above. You snip it at the back, just have it like that. Perfect worm bait. Alright, so now where to fish. If you look out here, it's hard to see because the swell's so flat, but this is about middle left of this major gutter, which goes all the way down there, and then it goes all the way down there as well. It's about 100 meters long, and what I do is I like to start from the middle and just off to the left a bit, because usually in the middle there's a bit of current and rip going out, and I usually like to make them, I like to just work my way down or up, depending, because the fish will be in here somewhere. We've got to find them. But when the swell's so flat like this, it really, they can be anywhere. And yeah, let's go. So what I've done is just cast out as far as I can and just walk back. You don't need to do anything else. The thing with is when you're fishing in the middle of the gutter, it's usually where the waves crash the most. And when the waves are continuing to crash on your line will eventually start to come in. So I'm just going to move to the left a bit more, and I'm going to see if the gutter's sweeping left or right, and we'll go from there. So we just moved to the left now. Going to try and get a decent cast out there. That's good enough. What I'm expecting to catch today is hopefully some dark, brim, whiting. I'm not too sure really, but I've never actually fished this beach too much. All I do know is my local beaches at the moment are not providing fish for some reason. I don't know why. So we're sort of not really moving too much, which is good. But that means, or me personally, when it's not sweeping too much, you're staying in the same spot. If you don't get a bite in the first 5 minutes, recast into a different spot. Now fish from the middle half all the way to the end of the gutter. You can see over there there's a heap of white washy water. And that is the outlet for this gutter. It looks a bit too wishy-washy over there for me, so this is the furthest we'll go to the left. Big cast out there. Also, when you're waiting for a fish to bite like me, hold your rod up high. So, and also just make sure everything's tight. Like you've got full contact of your sinker. Because if you don't, then you won't be able to feel the bites, and you'll likely miss a fish. Or the fish has been on there for a while, and you just haven't figured that one out. So we've now gone all the way to the right of this gutter on this beach. We've covered about 80 metres here. Probably more, probably over 100 to be honest, but it's what you got to do to find the fish. There you go. Oh, got one. After all this hunting for a fish, we finally got one. No! Lost him. You're kidding. Turns out I've been casting over their head, so Just been doing a few casts in close here and got my first bite. There you go. Whites again. There we go, on. Doggy. It's a dart, I think. Yeah, it's a dart. There he is. First fish of the day. Not a bad one. Turns out they're in very close, so I bet you we'll get another one. And the dart come in thick, you don't need too much bait. They usually come in numbers and eat literally anything. Gonna bite again. On. This whole time I've been casting completely over the top of them, and they've been in this whitewash, like not far out at all. Oh, the brim. Wow. Not too bad of a brim there. Watch him go. Well, that's changed very quick. I've been here for over an hour and a half, I reckon, for nothing. And it turns out I've been casting straight over their heads, so that's fishing. You've got to keep casting until you find them. Alright, so we're just going to cast in close again. I can't believe it, I've been walking hundreds of meters for the fish just to be at my feet. There you go. That's got to be a dart. Oh my god, it's not. Nice tar line. These are one of the best eating fish going around. And they have more of the round nose, and it looks more like a snapper than a brim, and the line's going horizontal that way. So the first one was a brim, that's a tar one. So the tide has just turned to come in. That could be a big difference, but I do have a rough feeling they were in close the whole time. Anyways, that'll do me. Thanks for watching. Hope you've got a fair bit out of this. Turns out you just got to try everything, try everywhere, fish everywhere, and you never know what you'll get. I end up catching those fish in not even half a metre of water, so the whole time I was casting over their head. But the tide is coming in, so this spot might just be a spot where the fish come up on the banks out of the deep holes as the tide comes in. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.